He should have said, tune in, turn on, and grow up. And so you could say that what happened in the 1960s, and this is relevant to the psychedelic experience, let's say, is that the emergence of mushrooms in particular, and then LSD, indicated to a swath of the population, like Leary and like Ken Kesey, that our perceptions were locked in kind of a box, in a box that we weren't even conscious of. I suppose that's the box of conformity. And the psychedelics released a wave of nonconformity. And Leary crystallized that with his tune in, turn on, and drop out. Now, there was a major problem with that, and that was partly what led to the kickback. So you might say that the first stage of something approximating a religious revelation is the understanding that your perceptions have been constrained by forms of conformity that were so extensive that you didn't even understand them. You didn't even know they were there. And so you're freed from that. And then maybe the first response to that is the celebration of an unlimited hedonistic freedom. But the problem with that is that freedom from constraint and hedonism is not freedom. It's just subjugation to a kind of instinctive chaos. And that emerged with the hippie culture. Leary in particular made a huge mistake when he said, tune in, turn on, and drop out. He should have said, tune in, turn on, and grow up. I'm dead serious about that, because there's a different form of responsibility that emerges once you realize that you were constrained by a conformist box, let's say like Moses when he was being a normal shepherd, that you can step outside of that, but you don't step outside of that into worship of the golden calf like in hedonistic orgies. You step outside of that with a more conscious upward aim. And if the use of transformative technologies like psychedelics isn't accompanied by that framework of enhanced responsibility, then it can degenerate into a kind of hedonistic chaos. And that's what the Nixon types were reacting to. They were terrified by it, and they had the reasons to be terrified, because as you're intimating, these technologies are unbelievably potent and destabilizing. Now, that destabilization can be used for let's say for better or for worse, and it should be used for better.